Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie. I am the owner and founder of Lady Faltey's Apothecary. We are here this morning to talk about the weekly astrology. This is what I like to call my Cliff Notes version. So this is just a basic overhaul. I don't know if that's a word. Basic information on the energies that are going to be around this week. How they will affect you is going to how different will be different how they affect me, and that is due to your placement. So where all of your placements are, what signs are in your placements. So I highly recommend doing a natal chart if you haven't done one. But anyway, if you have questions on that, you can ask me. But you can just Google it as well. And there's places online you can get your chart done. But if you have questions, you can just ask me. I will be certainly happy. I can't English today. I will certainly be happy to help. Let's burn a little sage here before we get started. Trying to find a little piece that's in here. But I guess I'll take this one. It's a pretty big one, actually. That's okay. So some for you guys. Some for me. You ever had you didn't really realize how bad you need it until you light it, and then I just smell the smoke and the smell of the sage, and I'm like, oh, I really did need that. All right, so we're gonna just put that over there to burn. I don't know what I just did. I just made a mess, but anywho. All right, so this was last week's card. So a blessing for healing of injury or illness. So we're going to get that back in the deck here and see about pulling a new card. I was thinking about a new deck starting in January. What do you guys think? Or should we do a new deck? We could do a new deck starting at Samhain, which would be the Witch's New Year. We could do a new deck at Yule, which would be more of the calendar, the astrological New Year. Maybe that's the better word to use. But all right, I'm not focusing on my cards here. All right, so we've had this one, I think, once or twice before. A blessing on your wisdom. And you can see some really good symbols there. Owls are wisdom. Our crow, our wolf. We've got the Triskelion down there. I don't know if I ever say that right. It's like one of those words where I can't seem to get it right. So, and then we've got a phase of the moon over her. So I'll get a picture of that up, and I usually do a little write-up, and that will be on the Facebook group page, which is Lady Faltey's Light Healers. So if you want to see that, you can head on over there. I'm going to put the card on top of my phone to help me remember to do that, because sometimes I, get distracted and forget. All right, so we have smudged, we have pulled our card, so I think we're good to go ahead and get started. So let's get right to it, okay? So today is Monday, September 25th, and we're going to start out with Mercury in harmony with Jupiter. And so I think most people know that Mercury is how we communicate. So our throat chakra, all of that stuff. And Jupiter is all about positivity and optimism. So good combination there. So we've got positive communication. So lots of good energy there for that today. You should also be feeling some enhanced productivity, which is amazing because I definitely need to get some shit done. Attention to detail, which is also good, and some just overall drive, just that drive to kind of be doing whatever it is that you're set out to be doing. One of the things I wrote down for today is to set realistic goals. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I'm a list person. And instead of saying clean the house, first of all, you're setting yourself up to never actually get that done, because by the time you clean one room and then clean the next room, then the first room you started with needs cleaning again. So you're just setting yourself up to fail, but also setting yourself up to kind of that feeling of not getting things done, not being accomplished. And then to me, it's like you're lowering your drive to move forward. Whereas if you set really small tasks, which is how I do it, I don't even say vacuum. I'll say vacuum the living room, vacuum the bedroom, vacuum the closet. So that, it's really small, easy tasks. And, as you see the cross things off, and obviously I can't vacuum the living room once and never ever have to do it again. So it's at some point going to end up back up on my list. But you'll see things getting done. It's going to give you confidence in doing things. It's going to give you that drive to want to keep going. A day where you're not feeling really productive, if you have health issues, didn't sleep well last night, whatever, might have happened to kind of make you not feel that productive drive. I always say pick the 3 easiest things on your list. And then you're still going to have that feeling of, okay, I got something accomplished. I got something done. Even if it's just move the towels from the wash to the dryer, or unload the dishwasher, things that can be fairly easy, but you at least got some stuff done. You're going to feel good about it. You're going to feel productive instead of that, like, I didn't do anything all day and I just sat here. And you probably did stuff, but without that list, maybe that visual, maybe you're not really fully absorbing what you've actually done. But I'm only on Monday and I've already gone on a tangent. So set realistic goals. That's where I was going with that. Small, easy, accomplishable goals, so that it's going to really give you that drive to kind of keep going. And organize your tasks. I was not so good at that a while back. Like, I would make that my list, and like I said, sometimes I would just pick the 3 easiest things. But then I would realize that maybe I vacuumed and then I watered my plants. Well, when I water my plants, I, pull off anything that's dead, things like that. And so I don't know how many times I've vacuumed the floors and then gone around and done my plants, and there's little leaf bits all over the place. So yeah, I just learned that, being a little bit more organized in how things go sometimes can be helpful. So now I water my plants and then I vacuum, and solves that problem. It's super simple. It's super easy, but sometimes when you don't think of it, and then, like I said, I would vacuum and then do the plants, and then I'd have all these little leaf parts all over the floor, and it's like, oh, now I got to get the vacuum out again, So anyway, you're going to naturally have some of that organization going on today, so that energy. So, but just try to plan that out a little bit for you, I don't know. Like, for me, I don't know why it's silly, but I try not to run the washing machine and the dishwasher at the same time. I try to run one or the other, things like that. But anywho, today's color is white. And for Pisces, I picked some green aventurine. It says allows you to see your dreams become realities. Realities, a weird word. But really just that ability to, like I said, just set your goals, set realistic goals, be organized on how you're doing your tasks, things of that sort. The card here, as I was getting the cards all out this morning, I really try to stick with like pulling a Pisces stone on a Pisces day, and making everything kind of flow. But the more I use these cards, these are not the stones that I would have picked for today using this deck. Right off the top of my head, for me personally, for today, for getting things done and organizing and setting goals and being productive, I would have picked some red jasper for myself. So I'm still not really liking these cards. So these might be going, and I might be going back to different cards, or I don't know, maybe I'll use just a variety of cards. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But yeah, that is picking the cards for this week. Almost none of the cards that I've actually picked are stones that I would have realistically picked if I wasn't trying to stick with a Pisces card for, you get the point. Anyway, Tuesday, 26, Moon in Pisces. So heightened emotions, heightened intuition, deep connection, all the things that you think of when you think of Pisces, or at least I do anyway. And again, Pisces gets a bad rap of being overly emotional. But Pisces are very connected, and they're very sensitive. And again, sensitive is one of those words where people are like, oh, she's so sensitive. But, it can be a asset as well, to be tuned in and to be feeling that and stuff. It's definitely challenging in today's world to be like that, because there's so many people who are not in tune and so many people who are not sensitive. But the Pisces gets a bad rap for something that actually should be really appreciated, and something that we should all kind of have drive to be more like. But anyway, so just be aware that, again, yes, they can get overly emotional. So you might be getting a little bit of emotional overdrive, especially if you're someone who doesn't normally feel a lot of different emotions. If you're someone that's just more kind of a grounded, stable person, and you don't tend to be the roller coaster ride of emotions, that may feel like a lot for you today. So just kind of get some grounding in there if you can. But I would also just be aware for those people that to not make decisions based on emotions today. We're not in Mercury retrograde any longer, so it's not that kind of don't make decisions things. It's just if you're making a decision that might be emotionally driven, maybe just take a step back and take a couple deep breaths and be kind of like, is this really what I want to do today? So today's color is red, and I picked some aquamarine. It says enhances your instincts, dreams, and faith. And so just that connection to your emotions, really kind of tapping in and being connected to those. So, and again, if you are somebody that has a lot of Pisces in your chart, and you're like, I don't want to be like any more emotional, working with the stones, I like to cover this quite often just because I don't think people realize. But if you're somebody that's already emotional, and the energies of Pisces is going to put you up here, or if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of emotional attachment or connected to your emotions, and the energies are going to bring you here, maybe that's, good that you're going to come up. But like I said, if you're here and you're going up here, that might be a little bit too much. But wherever you are on that scale, working with the stones isn't going to put you one way or the other. So if you're here and we have Pisces energy today, and you work with this stone, it isn't going to put you here. It's going to bring you more down to here. If you're down here, working with the stone is going to bring you more here. So it's always going to bring you back to this vibration, this balance, okay? All right, so Wednesday, the 27th, still in Pisces moon. And the Pisces moon is in harmony with Jupiter. So we have a lot of in harmony with Jupiter, which is really great because, like I said, Jupiter is all about our optimism and being positive and, just a good outlook on life. So, so we've got that same Pisces energy along with that Jupiter energy. So it's going to be very uplifting, very positive. There may be some sort of focus on some personal growth for you on Wednesday. You might kind of feel like exploring some new opportunities. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good day. Nothing too much to worry about. The one thing, and this is mostly even for me, but if you are an emotional indulger, just kind of keep that in mind as well. My two things when I get overly emotional is if I am on the high side, anger, frustration, anything like that, I tend to clean. So that I'm not too worried about if I do a little extra cleaning. But if I'm on the low side, sad, lonely, grieving kind of emotions, I tend to eat. And I tend to eat, cookies and ice cream and cake and not healthy things. So if you are an emotional indulger, just be aware that that might be, that you have that. I don't necessarily want to call it a weakness, but you have that. Words are hard. You have that. You know that about yourself. You know that that's something that might be going on for you. So there's a word for it. It's not in my brain at the moment. But so just be aware of that and just kind of keep that in mind that, if you're having an emotional day, and if you have something that you indulge in, or a coping, something to cope with, that you just want to be aware of that. So like I'm okay if on Wednesday I have a bowl of ice cream. I'm not okay on Wednesday if I have a bowl of ice cream, a piece of cake, half a package of cookies. So always moderation there. So Wednesday's color is royal blue. And I picked some chevron amethyst, and it says grounds Pisces so they can make their dreams come true. I don't agree with that. I don't think chevron amethyst is a grounding stone. It's going to help balance you, but grounding is not the word I would have used in there. So I just think that's kind of misleading, because if you need some grounding, amethyst is not a stone that I would use for that. But like I said, I'm trying to pick the stones, but so it can help keep you in balance, but not grounded. Okay, just I don't like that word on that card. All right, moving over to Thursday. Moon is in Aries. So we're moving from Pisces, which is very emotion and connected and kind of in tune kind of energy, to Aries, which is very like bull in a china shop energy. So Aries, you're going to feel that taking action energy, but it can also be more of a like charge in and take over kind of energy. So just be aware of that. I have Aries in my chart, so that's an energy that I'm going to want to be a little bit more aware of on the Thursday and Friday with the moon in Aries. That energy can kind of like, I can already be bold. I can already like, and I don't, half the time I don't mean it, but like I'll think I'm being helpful to my husband, and he's like, you're being bossy and you're taking over. But I don't mean to. I'm like, yeah, get in here and get this done, and I'm going to help, and and it's coming across to other people as, well, who does she think she is? She just came in and took over like that. So you might be feeling some of that energy. So just be aware how that might be perceived by others. On the same note, everybody's going to be feeling that somewhat similar energy. It's just going to depend, again, where your placements are in your chart, how it's going to affect you. Like I said, for me, I already have Aries, and it's in my rising sign. So that's kind of the how I am perceived by others. And so by adding some more Aries in there could be maybe a little bit too much, right? So I'm going to want to make sure that I'm keeping that in check, and that I'm going to be aware of how I'm presenting myself, and what I'm doing, and how I'm communicating with people. And I do have some throat chakra issues as well. And again, that's part of that. Just like I think I'm being helpful, and I think I sound like I'm being helpful, but sometimes I can be come across as bossy. Don't want to be bossy. So anyway, if you don't have a lot of Aries in your chart, maybe it's going to be a really good energy for you to kind of get in there and get some stuff done that maybe you've been wanting to do. It's also, Aries has a tendency to make you want to be a little bit more independent. Again, like I can do it myself kind of, energy. I've got this. I don't need your help. So just be aware that that might be there a little bit. And so I just wrote down, don't be overly forceful. So, however that might be. Again, if you're somebody that doesn't have Aries in your chart, and you're going to be looking forward to that energy of getting in there and taking charge and getting some stuff done, certainly take full advantage of that energy. But if you're somebody who's already kind of and I'm going to use that energy of wanting to get some stuff done, because I need to get a bunch of stuff done this week. But I just need to make sure that I'm not presenting myself in a overly bossy way, overly forceful way. So I just got to make sure that my communication there is a little bit more clear when it comes to that stuff. So Thursday's color is yellow, and I have some rhodonite. It says prepares you and balances your actions so you don't shoot past your goals. For me, it was not so much the don't shoot past your goals, because why would you not want to shoot past your goals, right? If your goal is, I don't know, be successful, and you become more successful, like, is that really a problem? So again, I'm not really crazy about some of these cards sometimes, but the rhodonite of preparing you to have action, to have balance in your actions. So, like I said, for me personally, to balance out that Aries energy and not be, instead of just being a bull in a china shop, I'm not an angry bull in a china shop. So Friday, the 29th, so it's going to be full moon. So I will be back Friday morning at 10 to do a video about that. And that's where I go over the astrology a little bit more in depth. And then I'll go over some things that you might want to use during ritual, or on your altar space, or however you, spend that time for your new moons and full moons. So whether you prefer to have a big ceremony with lots of people, whether you prefer to have a big ceremony but you kind of like to keep it small or by yourself, or for me, I kind of more just on the fly. Like I don't sit down, and again rambling, but I don't sit down and necessarily open circle and welcome in my ancestors with this big, a long thing and the whole thing, and then close the circle and stuff. It's kind of just more of I feel like that's kind of how I am for my whole life, all the time, right? I'm always welcoming in my ancestors. I'm always open to receive whatever it is they want to give me. I guess for me personally, I don't feel the need to sit down and do that. But, sometimes it is good to just sit down and kind of just acknowledge our ancestors and thank them as well. So, you know, I'm not always the best at doing that part. So anywho, so full moon in Aries, going to be that same energy, drive, take action, maybe some desire for independence. All of that is still going to be the same energies from Thursday over into Friday. And again, I wrote down, just be aware of, you know, possible conflicts, of, you know, being a little maybe too enthusiastic, maybe too much of a take charge kind of attitude. But you know, and I don't think taking charge is a bad thing, but just, you know, Aries can be, like I said, Aries can be very blunt and very forward, and very direct, and sometimes that's not received well. So I'm not saying don't take full advantage of the energies, just saying just be aware of how you're presenting that. Okay. Friday's color is sky blue, and I picked some blue spinel. Restores Aries enthusiasm when they experience setbacks. And again, I'm just going to cut the wording off the bottom of these cards. Blue spinel is just going to help with that, giving you that little bit of enthusiasm and keeping it in balance, right? All the stones are about keeping it in balance. So if you're over enthusiastic, it's going to help bring that to balance. If you're lacking enthusiasm, it's going to help bring that up for you. So, you know, just not a good week for the cards for me. It's like nothing really seemed to fit, but that's okay. Moving forward, Saturday the 30th, moon moving over into Taurus. I don't have Taurus in my chart, and I don't know, maybe that's why I enjoy it so much. I have no idea, but I love it when Taurus energy is around. Anyway, Taurus people are the ones that are going to want to feel comfortable, and that is not just physically, that's emotionally. They're going to want to feel secure. They want their relationships to feel comfortable. They want their, you know, family, friends, everybody around them. They want to know that everybody's kind of comfortable, secure, happy, and that makes them happy. And but it's also, sure, if you know a Taurus, and if I say this and you're like, I'm a Taurus and I'm not like that, it's because of where your other placements are. So, but as a general rule, Taurus people love to be in their comfort zone, and they love to be surrounded by comfort. And that's usually whatever, you know, and again, this can be different for different people. Maybe your comfort clothes is a pair of sweatpants. Maybe somebody else's comfort clothes is shorts or jeans. Maybe somebody else's comfort zone is a three-piece suit. Without their suit, they don't feel comfortable, you know? So whatever it is can be different, but as a whole, they want to be in their comfy clothes, whatever that means. So when I say comfy clothes, for me, that's a pair of, you know, fuzzy slippers and pajamas and a soft blanket and, you know, a good fluffy pillow and things like that. But that's not necessarily what it does mean. That's what it means to me. But so does that make sense? So when I'm saying comfy, it doesn't necessarily have to be those things, but for me it is. And part of that, I think, is my Sagittarius part, which I'm always wanting to learn something. So I love to get that, you know, that all comfy and either read a book or watch a video or something so that I'm learning, and it's just a nice, comfortable environment for me. But so I just love that Taurus energy. So again, emotional stability, desire for connecting, desire for being comfortable, desire for feeling security, and whatever those words mean to you. So Taurus people, again, be aware of overindulgence and being impulsive, right? I don't know necessarily impulsive. Overindulgence is probably the better word. So, um, again, maybe I'm going to go with food because that's just, one. Um, so comfort food, whatever that is for you. My comfort food is usually mashed potato. Maybe yours is sushi. I don't know. But whatever your comfort food is, just be aware of maybe that overindulgence of it, right? So again, for me, a lot of times too, it's sweets. That's not my comfort food. That's my go-to food, um, sweets. But again, you can just get in that overindulgence of it. Maybe it's shopping. Maybe it's alcohol. Whatever it is for you. So just be aware of that overindulgence. I'll use the example the other night. I got watching a TV show that I was kind of invested in. I was really like, oh, I really like this. And yeah, and I was up till 3 a.m. because I didn't have the ability to turn the TV off and go to bed. I had to see what was next. I had to keep watching. I had to know the next thing. Part of that's my Sagittarius. But anyway, just that overindulgence part of it, which I knew it was bad for me. I knew I was going to suffer from it. I knew I was not making a good choice, but I still did it anyway. So anyway, Saturday's color is royal blue, and I picked some blue lace agate. Says offers clarity when things don't make sense. But again, just that clarity and that balance. Really not feeling the cards. Sunday. Can you believe Sunday is going to be October 1st? I don't know where this year's gone. Honestly, I don't. But I think we say that every year. I think I say that every year. I don't know. I have a feeling like that's something I say all the time. Like, I don't know where this month went. I don't know where this week went. I don't know where this weekend went, you know? But anyway, Sunday, October 1st, still Taurus moon, and it's in harmony with Jupiter. So again, there's that Jupiter energy of being optimistic, of being positive. So going to definitely be feeling some of that along with that Taurus energy again. So it's also going to be a little bit of on Sunday. I did write down overindulgence. So again, be aware of that, possible overindulgence there for you. But I also wrote down Sunday would be a really good time to nurture any relationships. That doesn't necessarily mean a relationship that's in trouble. Which you would probably want to nurture a relationship that might be, having some rocky road, but not ice cream. But any relationship, I think even if your relationship is not in trouble, that's still, it's not a reason to not nurture your relationship. So just spend some time Sunday, just maybe, just doing something fun, doing something positive. And again, if you're really enjoying that Taurus energy of comfort, like I said, maybe it's a good day to just, spend the day watching a movie together. That would not fly with my husband because he's a Virgo and he wouldn't sit still long enough to watch a movie. But, whatever it may look like for you. For me and my husband, it's usually on the motorcycle is like our time together. Believe it or not, it's one of those, like, we like to, like, he'll look at something and he wants to make sure I saw something. And, or it's hard to explain if you're not a motorcycle person, but it's kind of our church. It's kind of our relationship time. It's kind of our connecting time. Whatever that might look like for you. So go ahead and maybe try to plan that ahead for Sunday. So if you're a couple that like to just go to the beach and you each read your own book and don't talk to each other, you know, that's perfectly fine if that's what brings you guys closer together, if that's going to be nurturing for you. So it, you know, it can be very different for every couple. So, but yeah, just, you know, it's Monday, so you got lots of time to maybe plan something that you guys could do together on Sunday. And maybe relationship doesn't necessarily have to be a significant other. It could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, could be a coworker, you know, whatever relationship it is that you maybe want to like dive into a little bit more. So, all right. So, oh, card, I almost forgot card. Sunday's color is white, and I picked some brachiated jasper. Helps you use your solid core to create a place of joy and contentment. So just nurturing those relationships. So, all right. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Like I said, I will be back Friday morning at 10 to talk a little bit about the full moon that we are going to be having. And yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions, any comments, certainly let me know. If you have any insight of your own, that would be so interesting to hear. And yeah, I hope something in this video was helpful for you. And I hope you have a good week. And it's going to be, with all the Jupiter energy, it should be a nice positive week. So it's just a week that I think should be a nice, easy, good week for us. So nothing too much to worry about. So, all right, with that, I'm off for the day. I have a million things to do. So as always, remember to be kind. Your kindness is not only going to improve somebody else's day, it could improve your day, and it could potentially change someone's life for the better. And it doesn't cost us anything. So love you guys.